Move your ambulance. I was here first. My time is more valuable than whoever's dying in the back. Those words echo through Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His face is calm, but his eyes are sharp. He's heard a lot in 30 years. But this is something else. If you believe no one is above the law, not even the powerful, you'll want to see what happens next. The date is March 15th. Case number 2025, TR 94263. The courtroom is packed. People whisper. They know this one is big. It's been all over the news. The video went viral. 7 million views in 3 days. Bailiff Rodriguez stands near the door. The state of Rhode Island versus Vanessa Blackwood, he announces. His voice carries through the room. Judge Caprio looks at the papers in front of him. Then he looks at the other person in this story. The person who was hurt. Her name is Sarah Chen. She's 32 years old. She sits in the second row. Her uniform is wrinkled. It's the uniform of a paramedic. She's been wearing it for 14 hours straight. Dark circles sit under her eyes like bruises. Sarah works for Providence Emergency Medical Services. She's done this job for 9 years. 9 years of saving lives. 9 years of racing through streets with sirens blaring. 9 years of carrying people who can't carry themselves. She has a daughter. Emily is 7. Sarah's husband died 3 years ago. Cancer. She works double shifts to pay the medical bills. Those bills didn't stop when he did. Right now, Sarah's hands rest in her lap. They shake slightly. Not from fear. From exhaustion. From anger. From the memory of what happened 6 days ago. The door opens. Vanessa Blackwood walks in. Everyone turns to look. She's 47 years old. Her hair is perfect. Blonde highlights that cost $600 every month. Her outfit screams money. A cream-colored Chanel suit. Each button has the little CC logo. Real ones, not knockoffs. The suit costs $8,000. Her shoes are Christian Louboutin. Red bottoms that click on the courtroom floor. Click, click, click. The sound is sharp, aggressive, like she's marking her territory. She carries a Birkin bag. Not just any Birkin. A Himalayan Birkin. White leather with diamond hardware. The price, $200,000. For a purse. Her jewelry catches the light. Diamond earrings. 3 carats each. A Cartier Love bracelet on her wrist. 18-karat gold. An engagement ring that could pay off a house. But it's her face that tells the real story. Her expression says she doesn't want to be here. Like she's been forced to visit a place beneath her. Her lips are pressed tight. Her chin is lifted. She looks at the people in the courtroom like they're insects. Behind her walks her attorney. His name is Preston Whitmore III. His suit costs $5,000. His briefcase is alligator leather. He looks confident. Too confident. Mrs. Blackwood, please approach, Judge Caprio says. Vanessa walks forward, but she's slow about it. Taking her time. Making everyone wait. Preston follows close behind. Mrs. Blackwood, the judge begins. You're here today regarding an incident that occurred on March 9th at approximately 2:15 p.m. Do you understand the charges? Vanessa glances at Preston. He nods. She looks back at the judge. I understand you've brought me here, yes. The judge's eyebrow raises slightly. That's not what I asked. Do you understand the charges against you? Obstruction of emergency services, Preston says quickly. Failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. My client understands, Your Honor. I'd like to hear from Mrs. Blackwood herself, Judge Caprio says. Vanessa sighs. Actually sighs. Like this is boring her. Fine. Yes. I understand. Can we just handle the fine and move on? I have a charity luncheon at 3. Whispers spread through the courtroom. Someone in the back row shakes their head. Judge Caprio picks up a remote. He points it at a screen on the wall. I think we should all see what happened. The prosecution has provided video evidence. The screen flickers to life. The video starts. It's dashcam footage from the ambulance. The timestamp reads March 9th, 2025, 2:14 and 37 seconds p.m. The location is printed at the bottom, Benefit Street, East Side, Providence. The ambulance is moving fast. The siren wails. Red and blue lights flash. You can see the reflection in the cars ahead. Those cars pull over. They move to the side, making room, like they're supposed to. But then there's a car that doesn't move. A white Range Rover. Brand new. License plate reads BLKWD1. Vanessa's car. The ambulance slows down. The siren gets louder, warning her, telling her to move. The Range Rover stays right in the middle of the lane. The ambulance tries to go around, but the street is narrow here. Historic homes on both sides. Tall trees. Parked cars. There's no room. The ambulance honks. Once. Twice. 3 times. The Range Rover brake lights flash, but it doesn't pull over. It stops. Right there. In the middle of the street. Sarah's voice comes through the video. "Ma'am, please pull over. We have a critical patient." Her voice is professional, but you can hear the stress underneath. The Range Rover's door opens. Vanessa steps out. She's wearing designer sunglasses. Big ones that cover half her face. She walks toward the ambulance. Not quickly. Slowly. Like she's taking a stroll. Sarah opens the ambulance door. She leans out. "Ma'am, you need to move your vehicle right now. We have someone having a heart attack." Vanessa stops about 10 feet from the ambulance. She puts her hands on her hips. "I was here first," she says. Her voice is clear on the audio. "I'm trying to get somewhere too. You can wait 30 seconds. "This is life or death," Sarah says. Her voice rises. "Please move your car." Life or death. Vanessa laughs. Actually laughs. Everyone always thinks their emergency is so important. "I have a very important appointment. I don't have time for this." A man's voice joins in. Sarah's partner. His name is Marcus. "Ma'am, if you don't move your vehicle, you're breaking the law." Vanessa waves her hand. Dismissive. "Then give me a ticket and send it to my house. My husband will take care of it." "Your husband?" Sarah asks. "State Senator Richard Blackwood," Vanessa says. She says it slowly, making sure they understand, making sure they know she's important. "Maybe you've heard of him. He's fairly well connected." There's silence for a moment. Then Sarah speaks again. "I don't care if your husband is the president. You need to move. Now." Vanessa's expression changes. You can see it even through the sunglasses. She's angry now. "How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am?" "I know you're blocking an ambulance," Sarah says. "I'm Vanessa Blackwood. I sit on the boards of 3 hospitals. I chair the Providence Children's Foundation. I throw galas that raise millions of dollars. I am not some nobody you can boss around. And I'm a paramedic with a 63-year-old man dying in the back of this ambulance," Sarah shoots back. "Move your car, or I'm calling the police." Vanessa smiles. It's not a nice smile. "Call them. I'll be gone before they arrive. And when they do show up, I'll make sure they know you harassed me." She turns around, starts walking back to her Range Rover. Still slow, still taking her time. That's when you hear it. The sound that changes everything. From inside the ambulance. A long, steady beep. The heart monitor. Flatlining. "We're losing him." Marcus shouts from inside. Sarah's face goes white. "Move your car. He's coding." Vanessa is at her Range Rover now. She opens the door. She looks back at Sarah. And she says the words that will haunt this courtroom. "Move your ambulance. I was here first. My time is more valuable than whoever's dying in the back." Then she gets in her car. Slowly, she adjusts her mirror, checks her lipstick. Finally, after what feels like forever, she pulls forward. But not to the side, just forward, barely giving the ambulance room to squeeze past. The ambulance has to drive half on the sidewalk. You can hear things scraping. The angle is dangerous. The video ends. The courtroom is silent, completely silent. You could hear a pin drop, a tissue, a breath. Judge Caprio sets down the remote. He looks at Vanessa. "Mrs. Blackwood, what do we just watch?" Vanessa's expression hasn't changed. A misunderstanding that's been blown out of proportion. "A misunderstanding," the judge repeats. "I didn't see the ambulance right away," Vanessa says. "The sun was in my eyes. My radio was on. I stopped as soon as I realized." "You stopped and got out of your car," Judge Caprio says, "to explain the situation. To explain that your appointment was more important than a man having a heart attack." Preston steps forward. "Your Honor, my client perhaps chose her words poorly in a stressful moment. But there's no evidence she intentionally obstructed the ambulance. She stopped to assess the situation. When she understood the severity, she moved." 43 seconds later, Judge Caprio says. He's looking at the screen, at the timestamp, from the time she got out of her car until she moved. 43 seconds. Again, she was assessing. "Mr. Whitmore," the judge interrupts, I've watched the video 3 times. Your client wasn't assessing anything. She was making a point. Vanessa's face flushes slightly. Your Honor, I don't appreciate the implication. The implication? Judge Caprio's voice rises just a little. Just enough. Mrs. Blackwood, there's no implication. There's a video, with audio, where you clearly state that your time is more valuable than someone's life. I didn't mean it that way. How did you mean it? Vanessa opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again. I was frustrated. People nowadays are so sensitive. Everything is an emergency. I didn't actually think someone was dying. You were told multiple times, the judge says. The paramedic told you it was critical. She told you it was life or death. She told you the patient was having a heart attack. What part of that didn't communicate emergency? Well, And then, when informed the patient was coding, you still took your time. You checked your makeup. That's an exaggeration. Judge Caprio picks up another paper. Let me read you the paramedic's report. Subject remained in vehicle approximately 15 additional seconds after being informed patient was in cardiac arrest. Subject appeared to be adjusting rear-view mirror and reapplying lipstick before slowly pulling forward. Vanessa waves her hand. That's their interpretation. It's what the video shows. Your Honor, Preston jumps in. My client acknowledges she could have moved faster. She's willing to pay the fine. Let's resolve this and move forward. Oh, we'll move forward, Judge Caprio says. But first, I'd like to hear from the paramedic. Ms. Chen, would you please come forward? Sarah stands up. Her legs are unsteady for a second. Then she walks to the witness area. She places her hand on the Bible. The clerk swears her in. Ms. Chen, Judge Caprio says gently, thank you for being here. I know you've had a long shift. I've had a long week, Your Honor, Sarah says. Her voice is quiet but clear. Tell me what happened that day. In your own words. Sarah takes a breath. We got a call at 2:09 p.m. A man named Robert Patterson, 63 years old. His wife said he was having chest pains. Couldn't breathe. We knew it was serious. She continues. We got to him in 4 minutes. He was in bad shape. Sweating. Gray skin. Weak pulse. We got him in the ambulance. Started in 4. Put him on oxygen. Called ahead to Rhode Island Hospital to prep the cardiac unit. And you were taking him to the hospital? Yes. It's normally a 6-minute drive from that location. But every second counts with a heart attack. The faster we get them to the cath lab, the better chance they survive. What happened when you encountered Mrs. Blackwood's vehicle? Sarah's jaw tightens. We came up behind her on Benefit Street. The siren was on. Lights were on. Every other car pulled over. But her Range Rover just stayed in the lane. At first, I thought maybe she didn't notice. Sometimes people have music too loud. So we got closer. We honked. Nothing. When did she stop? Maybe 10 seconds later. But she didn't pull over. She just stopped. Right in the middle of the road. I thought her car broke down. Then she got out. What was your first thought? I thought she was going to tell us something. Maybe she was having an emergency too. Maybe someone in her car was hurt. But then, she started talking about her appointment. Sarah's voice wavers slightly. I've been doing this job for 9 years. I've dealt with traffic. I've dealt with people who don't move fast enough. But I've never had someone tell me their appointment matters more than my patient's life. What happened after she finally moved? Sarah looks down. Mr. Patterson went into full cardiac arrest while we were stopped. His heart stopped beating. We had to start CPR right there. In the ambulance. While trying to navigate around her car. Were you able to save him? Barely. We shocked him twice. Got his heart going again. But those 43 seconds? Those might have made the difference between full recovery and permanent damage. Is Mr. Patterson alive? Yes. He's alive. He spent 4 days in ICU. He had to have emergency bypass surgery. The doctors said if we'd gotten there even 2 minutes later, he wouldn't have made it. Vanessa's face doesn't change. She looks at her nails. Judge Caprio sees this. Mrs. Blackwood, are you listening to this? I'm listening, Vanessa says. She sounds bored. Mr. Patterson almost died. Do you understand that? I heard what she said, and I'm sorry for that. But it's not my fault he had a heart attack. The courtroom reacts. Someone gasps. Another person mutters something. No one is saying you caused his heart attack, Judge Caprio says slowly. But you delayed his treatment. By less than a minute. 43 seconds to be exact. Do you know what happens to the heart during a cardiac arrest, Mrs. Blackwood? She doesn't answer. Every second without oxygen, brain cells die. Heart tissue dies. After 4 minutes, brain damage becomes likely. After 10 minutes, it's almost certain. You stood there for 43 seconds knowing someone was dying. And you checked your makeup. I didn't know he was actually dying. People exaggerate. The words hang in the air. People exaggerate. Sarah's face goes red. Exaggerate. Her voice rises. You think I was exaggerating? Ms. Chen, the judge says gently. I understand your anger. But please let me handle this. Sarah nods. But her hands are gripping the edge of the witness stand. Her knuckles are white. Judge Caprio looks back at Vanessa. Mrs. Blackwood, Ms. Chen wasn't exaggerating. She was trying to save a life. And you assumed she was lying. Not lying. Just overreacting. Everyone's so dramatic these days. Preston touches her arm. Whispers something. She shrugs him off. Your Honor, Preston says loudly, perhaps we could take a brief recess. No recess, Judge Caprio says. Mrs. Blackwood, let me ask you something. Why didn't you move when you first heard the siren? I told you. I didn't hear it right away. The video shows your car not moving for approximately 15 seconds after the ambulance was directly behind you. I was distracted. By what? I was on the phone. On the phone, the judge repeats. A hands-free call. Perfectly legal. Legal, yes. But was this call so important you couldn't end it for an emergency? Vanessa shifts her weight. I was talking to the caterer for an event I'm hosting. The Spring Gala for Children's Hospital. It raises money for sick kids. I'd say that's pretty important. More important than the sick adult currently dying behind you. That's not what I'm saying. Then what are you saying? Vanessa's voice sharpens. I'm saying I do a lot of good in this community. I raise money. I volunteer. I give my time. And now I'm being vilified for one small mistake. Small mistake, Judge Caprio says. Yes. Small. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. I just didn't move fast enough. And frankly, if the paramedics had been better at their jobs, Mr. Patterson wouldn't have coded anyway. The room explodes. People start talking over each other. Someone stands up. The bailiff moves forward. Order. Judge Caprio's voice cuts through the noise. Order in this court. Everyone sits down, but you can feel the anger. It's thick in the air. Sarah is crying now. Quiet tears streaming down her face. How dare you, she whispers. Preston's face is pale. He knows his client just made things worse. Much worse. Judge Caprio leans forward. Mrs. Blackwood, did you just blame the paramedics? I'm just saying, if they were more experienced. Ms. Chun has 9 years of experience. She saved hundreds of lives. She received the Providence Emergency Services Medal of Valor 2 years ago for pulling 3 people from a burning car. She is excellent at her job. Then why did the patient code? Because he was having a massive heart attack, and you delayed getting him to the hospital. Vanessa crosses her arms. You're taking her side because she's in a uniform. You're biased. I'm taking the side of facts, the side of evidence, the side of basic human decency. Human decency. Vanessa laughs. It's a sharp sound. Mean. You want to talk about decency? Let me tell you about decency. I give away more money in a year than that paramedic makes in 10. I've funded 3 hospital wings. I've sent 20 kids to college. I throw events that keep charities running. Where were all these people when I was doing that? They were happy to take my money. Mrs. Blackwood. No, let me finish. I am so tired of being treated like a criminal because I have standards. Because I don't just accept whatever people tell me. That paramedic could have gone around me. There was room. She chose to stop and argue. Judge Caprio's voice goes very quiet. There was no room. The street was too narrow. You know this. You live in that neighborhood. Then, she could have called another ambulance. The man was dying. Well, he didn't die, did he? So clearly it all worked out fine. The words echo. It all worked out fine. Sarah makes a sound, like she's been punched. She covers her mouth with her hand. Judge Caprio stands up. When he stands, everyone notices. He doesn't stand often during hearings. Mrs. Blackwood, he says, I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Vanessa rolls her eyes. Actually rolls her eyes at a judge. Your wealth does not make you special. Your charity work does not give you permission to endanger lives. Your husband's position does not put you above the law. And your donations do not buy you the right to treat people like they're beneath you. I never said I was special. You didn't have to say it. Your actions said it for you. You heard an ambulance. You saw the lights. You knew what they meant. And you decided your appointment was more important. It was an important appointment. What was the appointment for? Vanessa pauses. I told you. A caterer. For a gala. A party. A fundraiser. Still a party. Mrs. Blackwood, a man was dying, and you were worried about table settings. You're oversimplifying. Am I? Let me read you something else. Judge Caprio picks up another paper. This is from Officer Daniels. He's the police officer who responded after Ms. Chen called for assistance. He writes, I arrived on scene at 2:21 p.m. The ambulance had departed. I located the white Range Rover, license plate BLKWD1, parked in front of a residence on Benefit Street. I approached and spoke with the driver, Vanessa Blackwood. When I informed her she was being cited for obstruction of emergency services, she stated, and I quote, I don't think so. My husband will have this taken care of by tomorrow. You're wasting your time. Vanessa's face goes red. I was upset. You were confident you'd face no consequences. That's not what I meant. What did you mean? I meant my lawyer would handle it. That's what lawyers are for. No, Mrs. Blackwood. You meant your connections would make this go away. You believed your husband's position would protect you. Preston stands up. Your Honor, my client's statement to the officer is irrelevant to the traffic violation. It's extremely relevant to her state of mind. It shows she believed the rules don't apply to her. That's an interpretation. It's her exact words. Judge Caprio sits back down. He looks at more papers. The courtroom is silent. Waiting. Ms. Chen, the judge says, I have one more question. Since this incident, have you or your family received any contact from Mrs. Blackwood or her representatives? Sarah nods. Yes, Your Honor. What kind of contact? Sarah's voice shakes. 2 days after it happened, I got a call. From a number I didn't recognize. When I answered, a man said he was calling on behalf of Mrs. Blackwood. He said she wanted to apologize and make things right. That sounds positive. It wasn't. He said she was willing to make a donation to my name. $5,000 to a charity of my choice, if I agreed not to press charges or speak to the media. The courtroom erupts again. Louder this time. She tried to bribe you, someone shouts from the back. Order, the bailiff yells. Judge Caprio raises his hand. Everyone quiets down. Did you accept this offer, Ms. Chen? No. I told him I don't want her money. I want her to understand what she did. He said I was making a mistake. That $5,000 could help a lot of people. I hung up. Did the calls continue? Yes. He called 3 more times. Different amounts. 10,000. 20,000. Finally, he called and said if I didn't drop it, things could get difficult for me. He said Mrs. Blackwood has friends in the city administration. Friends who control EMS funding. He threatened you. Yes. Did you report this? I reported it to my supervisor. He said to document everything and tell the police. Judge Caprio turns to Vanessa. Mrs. Blackwood, did you instruct someone to contact Ms. Chen? Vanessa looks at Preston. He looks at the floor. Mrs. Blackwood, answer the question. I asked my assistant to reach out. To smooth things over. Smooth things over with money? It was a donation. A goodwill gesture. After she refused multiple times? I was trying to be generous. You were trying to buy her silence. That's your interpretation. That's what happened. And when money didn't work, your assistant threatened her job. That's not true. He would never. Judge Caprio holds up another paper. I have the phone records. For calls from a number registered to Blackwood Family Office, LLC. Ms. Chen recorded the last conversation. Would you like me to play it? Preston stands up fast. Your Honor, we'd like to request a brief recess to consult with our client. Sit down, Mr. Whitmore. Your Honor. I said sit down. Preston sits. Judge Caprio presses play on a recording device. A man's voice comes through the speaker. Professional. Cold. Miss Chen, this is David Burke calling again on behalf of Mrs. Blackwood. I'm disappointed you haven't accepted her very generous offer. Sarah's voice answers. I told you. I don't want money. Everyone wants money, Ms. Chen. Especially people in your situation. Single mother. Medical debt. I'm sure $20,000 would be helpful. How do you know about my? Mrs. Blackwood likes to know who she's dealing with. Look, I'm trying to help you here. But you're making this difficult. Mrs. Blackwood has many friends in Providence. The mayor, the city council, people who control budgets, including EMS budgets. It would be unfortunate if your department faced cuts because of this situation. Are you threatening me? I'm informing you of reality. Mrs. Blackwood is a respected member of this community. You're a civil servant. Who do you think people will believe? Take the money. Move on, or things could get complicated. The recording ends. No one moves. No one breathes. Judge Caprio looks at Vanessa. Mrs. Blackwood. Her face is like stone. I didn't tell him to say that. But you told him to contact her. To make a donation, not to threaten her. You instructed your assistant to offer money to someone you wronged. After she refused multiple times, he escalated to threats. Are you saying you had no idea this was happening? David can be overzealous. David works for you. He works for my family office, which you run, which I oversee, so you're responsible for his actions. Vanessa's voice rises. I'm responsible for trying to do something nice. I was trying to help her. She's the one who refused. She refused a bribe. It wasn't a bribe. It was a charitable donation. After you committed a crime, to convince her to stay quiet. That's the definition of a bribe. Preston is standing again. Your Honor, this is beyond the scope of the traffic violation. These allegations should be handled separately. These allegations show a pattern, Judge Caprio says. A pattern of believing rules don't apply. A pattern of using money and influence to escape consequences. A pattern of contempt for anyone without power. Vanessa's hands are shaking now. From anger, not fear. You're making me out to be some villain. I made a mistake. One mistake. Haven't you ever made a mistake? Of course I have. But when I make mistakes, I own them. I apologize. I try to do better. I don't throw money at people and threaten their jobs. I didn't threaten anyone. Your employee did, on your behalf, using information about her private life that he shouldn't have had. How did he know about Ms. Chen's debt? Her daughter? Her situation? Vanessa says nothing. You had her investigated, didn't you? Still nothing. Answer the question, Mrs. Blackwood. I wanted to understand who I was dealing with. You had a paramedic investigated because she asked you to move your car. I had her looked into because she filed charges against me. She didn't file charges. The state did, based on video evidence. Ms. Chen was doing her job. Her job is to save people, not to harass citizens. She wasn't harassing you. She was begging you to let her save someone's life. Vanessa's voice hits a new pitch, high and sharp. And I moved. I moved. Why am I still here? I paid the fine. I came to court. What more do you want from me? Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. What do I want? I want you to understand what you did. I understand. I was slow to move. I've acknowledged that. No, you understand the facts. But you don't understand the meaning. Let me help you. The judge looks at Sarah. Ms. Chen, how long is your shift today? 18 hours, Sarah says quietly. 18 hours. And when you're done, what happens? I go home. I check on my daughter. I try to sleep for a few hours. Then I do it again. How many days a week? 6. Sometimes 7 if they need coverage. How much do you make? $48,000 a year. Before taxes. Judge Caprio nods. Then he looks at Vanessa. Mrs. Blackwood, how much is your engagement ring worth? She pulls her hand back. I don't see how that's relevant. Humor me. Preston starts to object. Judge Caprio silences him with a look. Approximately $75,000, Vanessa says quietly. So your ring is worth more than Ms. Chen makes in a year and a half. I didn't buy it. My husband did. The purse you're carrying. How much? I don't know exactly. I do. I looked it up. $200,000. That's more than 4 years of Ms. Chen's salary. For a purse. What's your point? My point is that you live in a different world. A world where purses cost more than people's houses. Where appointments with caterers take priority over dying men. Where problems can be solved by throwing money at them. There's nothing wrong with being successful. You're not successful, Mrs. Blackwood. Your husband is. You were born into wealth, married into more wealth, and have spent your entire life cushioned by money you didn't earn. How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? How dare you value your time over someone's life? How dare you try to bribe and threaten a public servant? How dare you sit in my courtroom and show no remorse? Vanessa's mouth opens, closes. I have remorse. Show me. What? Show me your remorse. Apologize to Ms. Chen. Right now. Look at her and apologize. Vanessa turns slightly. She doesn't look directly at Sarah. I'm sorry you were offended by my actions. The courtroom groans. Even Preston drops his head into his hands. Judge Caprio's voice is ice. That's not an apology. That's an insult wrapped in words. Try again. I'm sorry for not moving faster. Why? Why are you sorry? Because it was wrong. Why was it wrong? Vanessa's face twists. Because you're saying it was wrong. No. Try again. Why was blocking that ambulance wrong? She says nothing. You don't know, do you? You know I'm telling you it's wrong. You know everyone in this room thinks it's wrong. But you don't actually understand why. That's not true. Then explain it. Use your own words. Why was it wrong to block that ambulance? Vanessa looks around. At Preston. At the people watching. Back at the judge. Because rules say you have to move for emergency vehicles. That's the law. I asked why it was wrong. That's the same thing. No, it's not. Laws tell us what we can't do. Morality tells us what we shouldn't do. What you did wasn't just illegal. It was immoral. Do you understand the difference? Vanessa's voice drops. You're twisting my words. I'm asking you to think. Possibly for the first time. You blocked an ambulance carrying a dying man. Not because you didn't hear it. Not because you couldn't move. But because you didn't think you had to. Because your appointment felt more important. Because you've spent your whole life believing you're special. That your time, your needs, your wants matter more than other people's lives. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? Ms. Chen, is it fair that you work 6 days a week and still struggle to pay bills? Is it fair that you save hundreds of lives but can't save enough money for your daughter's college fund? Is it fair that you're exhausted, stressed, and underpaid while Mrs. Blackwood carries a purse worth 4 years of your salary? Sarah wipes her eyes. No, Your Honor. It's not fair. But you keep showing up. Keep doing the job. Keep saving people. Even people like Mrs. Blackwood, who would look down on you. Who would question your competence. Who would threaten your livelihood. Why? Sarah's voice is steady now. Strong. Because it's the right thing to do. Judge Caprio turns back to Vanessa. Do you hear that? It's the right thing to do. Not because a law says so. Not because it benefits her. Because it's right. That's something your money can't buy. Can't teach. Can't fake. Vanessa's composure is cracking. Her perfect makeup can't hide the redness in her face. You're humiliating me. No. I'm educating you. There's a difference. Everyone is watching. Everyone will see this. Good. Maybe they'll learn something too. Preston stands one more time. Your Honor, my client has been subjected to enough. Your client hasn't been subjected to anything yet, Judge Caprio says. We haven't even gotten to sentencing. The word hangs in the air. Sentencing. Vanessa's eyes widen slightly. Sentencing? I thought this was just a fine. You thought wrong. But I paid the fine. $500. It was processed yesterday. That was the initial fine for the traffic violation. We're not done. Preston's voice goes up an octave. Your Honor, the maximum penalty for obstruction of emergency services is $1,000 and 30 days in jail. My client has no prior record. She's paid the fine. Surely. Mr. Whitmore, you're right about the maximum penalty. But we have additional issues here. Attempted bribery of a witness. Witness intimidation. Contempt of court. Contempt. Vanessa's voice cracks. I didn't do anything contemptuous. You rolled your eyes at me 15 minutes ago. That's not contempt. In my courtroom, it is. But more importantly, you've shown contempt for the law. Contempt for public servants. Contempt for human life. And I've seen enough. Judge Caprio picks up his gavel. Everyone leans forward. Vanessa Blackwood, I find you guilty of obstruction of emergency services, reckless endangerment, and criminal contempt of court. Here is your sentence. Vanessa grabs Preston's arm. He looks pale. First, all previous fines stand. You will also pay an additional fine of $10,000. This money will be donated directly to the Providence EMS Benevolent Fund in Ms. Chen's name. Vanessa barely reacts. $10,000 is nothing to her. Second, your driver's license is suspended for 1 year. Now she reacts. A year? How am I supposed to get anywhere? The same way millions of people do. Public transportation, walking, taxis, or perhaps your driver can take you. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Your driving privileges aren't the only thing suspended. Your vehicle registration is also revoked for 1 year. The Range Rover you used to block the ambulance will be impounded for the duration. You can't do that. I just did. I need that car. Why? To block more ambulances. For my work. My charity commitments. Your charity work will have to wait. Or you can take the bus. I hear the number 63 runs right through your neighborhood. People in the courtroom are trying not to smile. Some are failing. Third, you will complete 250 hours of community service. Preston jumps up. 250 hours is excessive for a first offense. Sit down, Mr. Whitmore. I'm not finished. Preston sits. These hours will not be served at one of your fancy charity galas. You will not be counting cocktail parties and ribbon cuttings. You will serve your hours with Providence Emergency Medical Services. Specifically, you will work as a shift assistant to Ms. Chen. The courtroom gasps. Vanessa's face goes white. Every Saturday and Sunday for the next 6 months, you will report to Station 12 at 5:45 a.m. You will wear a reflective vest that says Community Service in large letters. You will help clean ambulances, stock supplies, file paperwork, whatever Ms. Chen needs. You will see what her job actually involves. You will ride along on calls. You will watch her save lives. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn something. Vanessa is shaking her head. No, I'm not doing that. Then you'll go to jail. You can't send me to jail. Actually, I can. 30 days. Your choice. Richard will appeal this. He'll have you removed from the bench. Let him try. And while he's doing that, you'll be sitting in a cell. Vanessa looks at Preston. He looks helpless. Mrs. Blackwood, you should accept the community service. I'm not working for her. She points at Sarah. I'm not taking orders from a paramedic. Then you're taking orders from a correctional officer, Judge Caprio says. Which would you prefer? Vanessa's breath is coming fast. She's panicking. This is insane. You're insane. Mrs. Blackwood, I suggest you stop talking. I will not stop talking. You're abusing your power. You're punishing me because I have money. This is discrimination. Bailiff, Judge Caprio says calmly. Bailiff Rodriguez steps forward. No. Vanessa backs up. Don't touch me. Mrs. Blackwood, you're being held in contempt. Additional contempt. You're going to spend a night in jail to think about your choices. Tomorrow morning, you could decide if you'd like to accept the community service or serve the full 30 days. Richard will have me out in an hour. Richard can try, but I'm the judge here, not your husband. Bailiff, please escort Mrs. Blackwood to holding. Rodriguez approaches. Vanessa tries to step away. Preston grabs her arm. Don't resist. You'll only make it worse. Worse? How could it be worse? The bailiff pulls out handcuffs. The sound of them clicking open echoes through the courtroom. Vanessa's eyes go huge. You're not putting those on me. Turn around, ma'am, Rodriguez says. I will not. Ma'am, I can do this easy or hard. Your choice. Vanessa looks around frantically. At Preston. At the judge. At the people watching. Some of them are recording on their phones. Please don't let them film this, she whispers. You should have thought of that before, Judge Caprio says. Rodriguez takes her arm. Gently but firmly. He turns her around. The handcuffs close around her wrists. Click. Click. Vanessa starts crying. Not sad crying. Angry crying. This is wrong. This is so wrong. What's wrong is thinking you're above the law, the judge says. What's wrong is valuing your time over someone's life. What's wrong is trying to bribe your way out of consequences. You did this to yourself, Mrs. Blackwood. Rodriguez leads her toward the door. She's still talking. Still protesting. Richard will fix this. He'll have your job. You'll regret this. The door closes behind her. The courtroom is silent for a moment. Then someone starts clapping. Then another person. Then everyone. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel. Order. Please. The clapping stops. But people are smiling. They're satisfied. The judge looks at Sarah. Ms. Chen, I know this has been difficult. I want you to know that Mrs. Blackwood's actions don't reflect on you. You did everything right. You're a hero. Sarah wipes her eyes. Thank you, Your Honor. If she gives you any trouble during her community service, you report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir. You're dismissed. Get some rest. Sarah stands. She walks toward the exit. People reach out to touch her shoulder as she passes, supporting her, thanking her. The judge looks at Preston. Mr. Whitmore, I suggest you explain reality to your client. She can serve her community service and move on with her life. Or she can fight this and make everything worse. Her choice. Preston nods. I'll speak with her, Your Honor. Good. We're adjourned. The gavel bangs one more time. 3 weeks pass. It's 6 a.m. on a cold Saturday morning. The sun isn't up yet. Station 12 is quiet. Most of the crew is inside, drinking coffee, getting ready for the day's shift. A taxi pulls up outside. Vanessa Blackwood gets out. She's wearing jeans. Not designer jeans. Regular jeans from Target. A plain sweatshirt. Sneakers. Her hair is in a ponytail. No makeup. No jewelry except a simple watch. She looks tired. She looks smaller somehow. She walks to the door. Hesitates. Then knocks. Sarah opens it. She's in her uniform. Fresh for the day. She looks at Vanessa for a long moment. You're on time, Sarah says. Yes. Come in. They walk inside. The other paramedics look up. They know who Vanessa is. Everyone knows. The video has 18 million views now. This is Vanessa, Sarah says to the crew. She's doing community service with us. A few nods. No one seems impressed. Sarah hands Vanessa a vest. Yellow with reflective strips. Big black letters on the back. Community service. Put this on. Vanessa does. Her hands shake slightly. First thing, we clean the ambulances. Top to bottom. Every morning. Come on. They walk outside to the ambulance bay. 3 vehicles sit waiting. Sarah opens the back of the closest one. We restock everything after every call. Supplies, medications, equipment. Everything has a place. I'll show you once. Pay attention. For the next hour, Sarah teaches. Vanessa listens. She organizes bandages. Checks oxygen tanks. Wipes down surfaces. She doesn't complain. She doesn't talk much at all. At 7:30, the first call comes in. A car accident on Route 95. Grab the vest. You're riding with me, Sarah says. They climb into the ambulance. Marcus is driving. He glances at Vanessa in the rearview mirror. Says nothing. The sirens turn on. The lights flash. They pull onto the street. Vanessa watches the cars ahead. They all pull over. Every single one. Making room. Like they're supposed to. They arrive at the scene. Police are already there. 2 cars. One is crumpled. The front end is destroyed. Sarah jumps out. Vanessa follows, slower. There's a woman in the damaged car. She's conscious but bleeding. A cut on her forehead. She's crying. Sarah is at the window in seconds. Ma'am, my name is Sarah. I'm a paramedic. Can you tell me your name? Jessica. Jessica Moore. My kids. Are my kids okay? Sarah looks in the back. 2 car seats. Both empty. Your kids aren't in the car, Jessica. No, they're at school. Thank God they're at school. She starts crying harder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't see him stop. It's okay. We're going to take care of you. Can you move your arms? Jessica nods. Moves her arms. Good. How about your legs? I think so. Sarah and Marcus carefully help Jessica out of the car. They guide her to the stretcher. Vanessa watches from a few feet away. She sees Sarah's hands. They're steady. Confident. She's done this 1,000 times. Sarah cleans the cut. Checks Jessica's vitals. Asks questions. Gentle questions about pain, about dizziness, about what happened. I was on my phone, Jessica admits. Just for a second. I looked down to change the music, and when I looked up, he was stopped. I couldn't brake in time. We all make mistakes, Sarah says softly. The important thing is you're okay. They load Jessica into the ambulance. Vanessa climbs in last. Sits in the jump seat. Watches Sarah work. On the way to the hospital, Sarah talks to Jessica. Keeps her calm. Explains what's happening. Why they're checking this. Why they need to do that. Jessica grabs Sarah's hand. Thank you. You're so kind. Just doing my job, Sarah says. At the hospital, they transfer Jessica to the ER. Sarah gives her report to the nurse. Every detail. Times, vitals, treatments. Professional. Thorough. Back in the ambulance, Marcus drives them to the station. Vanessa is quiet. "You okay?" Sarah asks. "Yeah. Just thinking." "About what?" "About how you talk to people. You're so calm, even when they're panicking." "That's the job. They're scared. I can't be scared too." "What if you are scared?" "Then I don't show it." They get back to the station. Restock the ambulance. Vanessa is faster this time. She remembers where things go. The calls keep coming. A chest pain. A fall. A child with a fever. Each time, Vanessa watches Sarah. Watches how she treats people. How she never judges. How she gives everyone the same care. Rich or poor. Young or old. People who made mistakes. People who were unlucky. At 3 p.m., they get another call. Difficulty breathing. Elderly man. They arrive at a small house. The paint is peeling. The yard is overgrown. Sarah knocks. An old woman answers. Her face is worried. He's in the bedroom. He can't breathe. They go inside. The house smells like medicine and age. The man is in bed. His skin is gray. His breathing is shallow. Sarah kneels beside him. "Sir, I'm here to help. What's your name?" "Harold," he whispers. "Harold, I'm going to listen to your lungs." "Okay." He nods. Sarah listens with her stethoscope. Frowns. "Marcus, we need to move him now." They work fast. Get Harold on the stretcher. Start oxygen. The wife follows them out. "Is he going to be okay?" she asks. "We're taking him to the hospital." "They'll take good care of him," Sarah says. "I can't afford an ambulance. The last one cost us $2,000. Sarah stops. Looks at the woman. "Ma'am, I understand. But right now, he needs help. We'll worry about the bill later." "Okay." The woman nods. Tears streaming down her face. In the ambulance, Harold's breathing gets worse. Sarah increases the oxygen. Calls ahead to the hospital. Her voice is urgent but controlled. Vanessa watches her hands. They don't shake. They don't hesitate. Sarah knows exactly what to do. They get Harold to the hospital. The ER team takes over. Sarah gives her report. Then she stands there for a moment, watching Harold disappear through the doors. "You okay?" Marcus asks. "Yeah. Just hope he makes it." "You did good." "We'll see." Outside, Vanessa speaks. "That woman said she can't afford the bill." "A lot of people can't," Sarah says. "What happens to them?" "They get the bill anyway. They try to pay it. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes they just don't call us when they need help because they're scared of the cost." "That's terrible." "That's reality." They drive back to the station. The shift is almost over. 16 hours for Sarah. 8 for Vanessa. Vanessa looks exhausted. Sarah looks like it's just another day. At the station, Vanessa helps clean the ambulance one more time. She's quiet. "Something on your mind?" Sarah asks. Vanessa stops wiping. Looks at Sarah. "I didn't understand." "Understand what?" "That day. When I blocked you. I didn't understand what you were rushing to. What you were trying to do. I thought you were overreacting. I thought it could wait." She pauses. "I was wrong." Sarah nods. Says nothing. "I've spent 6 Saturdays riding with you now. I've seen 28 calls. I've watched you save people. People who were dying. People who were scared. People who had nothing. And you treat them all the same. That's the job." "No. It's more than that. You care. You actually care about strangers. Don't you care about people?" Vanessa thinks about this. "I thought I did. I raise money for charities. I sit on boards. But I don't do what you do. I don't get my hands dirty. I don't stay up for 18 hours. I don't risk my life. You do your part." "No. I write checks. It's not the same." Sarah finishes cleaning. "Vanessa, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "When you blocked that ambulance, what were you thinking?" Vanessa looks down. "I was thinking about me. About my schedule. About being late. I wasn't thinking about the person in the back of your ambulance. I didn't think about them as a person at all. They were just an abstract concept. A problem making me late." And now I know his name was Robert Patterson. He's 63. He has a wife named Mary. 2 kids. For grandkids. He was on his way to his granddaughter's school play when he had the heart attack. He coaches Little League. He volunteers at his church. He's a person. A real person. And I almost killed him because I couldn't wait 43 seconds. Sarah's face softened slightly. You didn't almost kill him. His heart attack did that. But I made it worse. I delayed you. Those seconds mattered. They did. I'm sorry. Vanessa's voice breaks. I'm so sorry. For blocking you. For trying to bribe you. For having you investigated. For everything. I was wrong. Completely wrong. Sarah studies her. Do you mean that? Yes. I've never meant anything more. They stand in silence for a moment. I forgive you, Sarah says quietly. Vanessa looks up. Really? Really? What you did was terrible. But you're here. You're learning. You're trying. That's more than most people would do. I didn't have a choice. You had a choice after the first day. You could have complained. Made it difficult. But you didn't. You showed up. You worked. You listened. That matters. Vanessa wipes her eyes. Thank you. Don't thank me. Finish your hours. Learn from this. Do better. I will. Sarah extends her hand. Vanessa shakes it. See you next Saturday. 5:45 a.m. I'll be here. For months later, Vanessa's community service is done. All 250 hours. She completed them without complaint. Without incident. She's back in Judge Caprio's courtroom. For a review hearing. This time, she's dressed simply. Not her designer clothes. Just normal clothes. Her hair is simple. Her makeup is light. The judge looks at the report from Sarah. He reads it silently. Then he looks at Vanessa. Ms. Chen reports that you completed all required hours. That you were punctual, respectful, and hardworking. She says you've shown significant growth. Thank you, Your Honor. How was the experience? Vanessa takes a breath. Humbling. Eye-opening. Hard. I've never worked like that before. Never seen what paramedics actually do. They're heroes. Every single one of them. What did you learn? That I've been living in a bubble. That I didn't understand how most people live. How hard they work. How much they struggle. I thought I was helping people by raising money. And maybe I was. But I wasn't really seeing them. Really understanding them. Will this change how you live your life? It already has. I've started volunteering at the free clinic downtown. Not fundraising. Actually volunteering. Taking vitals. Filing paperwork. Talking to patients. I go twice a week. Judge Caprio nods. That's good to hear. And I contacted Mr. Patterson, the man whose ambulance I blocked. I apologized to him and his wife in person. I offered to pay his medical bills. All of them. They refused at first. But I insisted. It's the least I could do. Did you do this because the judge ordered it? No. I did it because it was right. The judge leans back. Mrs. Blackwood, when you first came to this courtroom, you were arrogant, entitled, dismissive. You believe your wealth and connections made you special, put you above others. I was wrong. Yes, you were. But you've done the work. You've served your time. You've shown remorse. Real remorse. Not just words. Actions. Thank you, Your Honor. Your license suspension is lifted. Your vehicle registration is reinstated. Your probation is complete. But understand this. If you ever come before this court again, I will not be lenient. This was your second chance. Don't waste it. I won't. I promise. Judge Caprio stands. Extends his hand. Vanessa shakes it. Go do good in the world, Mrs. Blackwood. Real good. Not just writing checks. Get your hands dirty. See people. Help people. I will. I am. Vanessa turns to leave. Then she stops. Looks back. Your Honor, can I say something? Go ahead. Thank you. For not letting me get away with it. For making me face what I did. For giving me the chance to change. I needed this. I didn't know it. But I needed it. You're welcome. Vanessa leaves the courtroom. Sarah is waiting outside. She's in her uniform. About to start a shift. They look at each other. You're done, Sarah says. I am. Are you working today? Double shift. Someone called in sick. Do you need any help? Sarah smiles. I thought you were done with community service. This wouldn't be community service. This would be volunteering. If you'll have me. Sarah's smile widens. Station 12. 5:45 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be there. They shake hands. Then, impulsively, they hug. Brief but real. Vanessa walks to the parking lot. Her Range Rover is there. freshly washed. But she doesn't get in. Instead, she walks to the bus stop, sits down on the bench, waits. The number 63 arrives. She gets on, pays her fare, sits with regular people going about their regular lives. She looks out the window, sees the city differently now, sees the people, really sees them. Her phone buzzes. A text from the Providence Children's Foundation. The spring gala raised $2 million. She smiles, types a response. Great news. Use $50,000 to buy new EMS equipment. Sarah Chen will help you decide what they need. She sends it, puts her phone away, rides the bus. Back at the courthouse, Judge Caprio sits in his chambers. The case file for Vanessa Blackwood is on his desk. He opens it, writes a note in the margin. Subject demonstrated capacity for growth. Community service effective. Recommend this model for similar cases involving privilege and entitlement. He closes the file, puts it away. There's a knock on his door. His clerk enters. Judge, your next case is ready. What is it? Expired registration. Defendant says they couldn't afford to renew it. Single parent. Works 2 jobs. Judge Caprio nods. Stands. Straightens his robe. Let's see what we can do. He walks back to the courtroom. Ready for the next person. The next story. The next chance to make things right. Because that's what justice is. Not just punishment. Not just rules. It's about understanding. Teaching. Growing. Giving people chances to be better. And sometimes, just sometimes, they take those chances. They learn. They change. They become who they were always meant to be. Vanessa Blackwood blocked an ambulance because she thought her time mattered more than someone's life. She thought her privilege protected her. She thought money could fix anything. She was wrong. But she learned. The hard way. The right way. And now she knows what really matters. Not wealth. Not status. Not power. People. Compassion. Service. Humility. These are the things money can't buy. The things privilege can't fake. The things that make us human. Vanessa learned this lesson. Maybe you will too. Money can buy many things. A fancy car. Designer clothes. A $200,000 purse. But it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. It cannot create character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, in every courtroom, in every part of life, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is blind. It doesn't care about your bank account, your connections, your name. It only cares about what's right, what's fair, what's human. Remember that. The next time you're tempted to think you're special, that rules don't apply to you. That your time is worth more than someone else's life. You're not special. Rules do apply. And every single life has value. Every single one.